Hello everyone. Today I'm going to read the first chapter of Skellig, which is a book by David Almond. And if I read the blurb to you first, it'll give you an idea of what this book is about. It's the winner of the Carnegie Medal and the Whitbread Children's Book of the Year. Michael steps into the crumbling garage. What is this thing beneath the spider's webs and dead flies? A human being or a strange kind of beast never seen before? The only person Michael can confide in is Mina. Together they carry the creature out into the light and Michael's world changes forever. Now straight away you've probably got a few questions about that and maybe a couple of predictions as to who Michael and Mina might be. What is this character? Who is this character? Where is this character? Okay, so have a think about those type of things. Maybe pause the video if you want to. And then when you've had a think about it, press play again and listen to chapter 1. Skellig chapter 1. I found him in the garage on a Sunday afternoon. It was the day after we moved into Faulkner Road. The winter was ending. Mum had said we'd be moving just in time for the spring. Nobody else was there. Just me. The others were inside the house with Dr. Death, worrying about the baby. He was lying there in the darkness behind the tea chest, in the dust and dirt. It was as if he'd been there forever. He was filthy and pale and dried out, and I thought he was dead. I couldn't have been more wrong. I'd soon begin to see the truth about him, that there'd never been another creature like him in the world. We called to the garage, because that's what the estate agent, Mr. Stone, called it. It was more like a demolition site or a rubbish dump, or like one of those ancient warehouses they keep pulling down at the quay. Stone led us down into the garden, tugged the door open and shone his little torch into the gloom. We shoved our heads in at the doorway with him. You have to see it with your mind's eye, he said. See it cleaned with new doors and the roof repaired. See it as a wonderful two-car garage. He looked at me with a stupid grin on his face. Or something for you, lad. A hideaway for you and your mates. What about that, eh? I looked away. I didn't want anything to do with him. All the way round the house, it had just been the same. Just see it in your mind's eye. Just imagine what could be done. All the way round I kept thinking of the old man, Ernie Myers, that had lived here on his own for years. He'd been dead nearly a week before they found him under the table in the kitchen. That's what I saw when Stone told us about seeing with the mind's eye. He even said it when he got to the dining room and there was an old cracked toilet sitting there in the corner behind a plywood screen. I just wanted him to shut up, but he whispered that towards the end Ernie couldn't manage the stairs. His bed was brought in here and a toilet was put in, so everything was easy for him. Stone looked at me like he didn't think I should know about such things. I wanted to get out, to get back to our old house again, but Mum and Dad took it all in. They went on like it was going to be some big adventure. They bought the house. They started cleaning it and scrubbing it and painting it. Then the baby came too early. And here we were. Having listened to chapter 1 of Skellig, I'm now going to explain the learning for today's lesson. The learning intention is to predict what will happen in a story. And you should make your prediction having listened to chapter 1. If you need to, pause the clip at the beginning and listen to the chapter again, because we all know that we take more information in when we listen to something more than once. What we would like you to do today is to write a paragraph explaining what will happen in the story. You can either write this on a piece of paper and hand it in to the school office later in the week when you come to collect your next home learning pack, or you can use write on purple mash and hand it in that way. Either way is fine. If you want to do it as a Word document and attach it in an email and send it into school, that's also fine. Whichever way is easier for you. So, in your paragraph explain what you think will happen, you might like to use this as an opening. Having listened to the first chapter, I think the story will be about, and then you give your reason as to what you think might happen. If you want to go a little bit further, you can say, I think this because in the text it says, and then you can quote from the text, and then it will back up what your prediction is. As a challenge, you might like to write down any ambitious vocabulary on a pad of paper that you then might be able to include later in the week when we come to do some longer pieces of writing. Also, you might like to include at least one example of parenthesis. This setup of lesson is how the English lessons will work each day. So the way to access them is to log on to the school Castle Hill YouTube channel, find the correct chapter for Skellig and listen to that video clip, and then record your learning in whichever way suits you. If you have any questions or problems accessing this, please do email. You can email myself or Mrs. Burbier through Purple Mash, or you can email the school on the learning@Castle Hill email address. We look forward to reading your predictions, and I wonder if anyone's going to predict what does actually happen in the story.